Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is March 29th, 2019. My name is Lynn Marquidon, and I'm your host. And this is our 5th week of doing our Dear Jane Quilting. We got a lot done. We still have a lot more to do. I'm going to do a recap in a minute. Grab your project, and we'll get sewing in just a minute. I'm going to start my overhead camera through Facebook. So sit tight for 1 second, grab your project, and we will get started. I say that. How come it's not working? Hang on. Okay. 1 second. What do we say? This is great pod, right? Not. What are you doing? Oh, while you're waiting for me, send me what you're working on to lynn@simplycolorful.com and I'll show it. We're going to kick off our show tonight with Pat's beautiful creation. Soon as I get us started. Okay, so we want to publish a live video. Ready? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is March 29th. I'm going to put you on the overhead camera. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, YouTube/simplycolorful, so you can see both the overhead view as well as straight head on. You can watch both on your iPad app, hopefully. And I'm sorry that we have to be a little creative by using two sources, but with luck, we're rocking and rolling. So hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Okay, so 5 weeks ago, we started out on a quest to do more on our Dear Jane. And I am happy to report that we filled in most of the bottom yellow. And rather than spending time counting how many blocks we did, I'm now to the point where I'm counting how many blocks we have left to go. So by my count, we have 35 of the square blocks left. And we have most of the triangles. So I thought tonight I would finish up by putting behind me the triangles. I don't think we've ever seen those all together. And I'm going to try and do 2 triangles tonight. And then that will be, we're going to put Dear Jane aside because as everyone may or may not recall, the goal is to have this finished by 2020. And we made a good dent in March. March was all about Dear Jane. So thanks for joining me along my journey. That's my journey. I'm, slow and steady. I think I started, 2012? Pat, however, sent me quite the accomplishment that she has done so far. She says, "Hi, Lynn." This was at 4:14 today. "Finished the center part of the quilt. Now on to the challenge of the borders. It looks like I won't get finished this month. That's okay. Look at what you did. Pictures of the front and back are attached. Looking forward to watching tonight." Okay, so here is her front. Now I'm going to show it up here close to those on YouTube. And then check this out. Her back. I cannot believe all that you got done. And she did this quilt as you go. And isn't that just a beautiful job? So Pat, thank you for sharing your journey. And I cannot wait to see what you do around the edges. Okay, so that's Dear Jane. And hi to Carol. I'm so glad you're out there. Now let me just pull up Facebook and then I promise we will get started on sewing. I pull this up because I'm looking for your help. I'm in need of some help diagnosing my sewing machine. Remember last week, there, I think that works. Hopefully. Yeah, I think it's live. Here, I'll view the comments. Isn't technology grand? Hey, Sue! Oh my goodness, Sue has 15 blocks left to do. Stop it. And you even went to the International Quilt Festival today. Ugh. I think I should just give it to you. You win. Okay. Concede was the word I was looking for. I thought abdicate, but that was not quite what I meant. Sorry, I hit the tripod. Sorry, you're moving up there. Okay. So, oh, well, no, you know, you can see this is my box of all of my blocks. They're all in A, B, C, A, B, C, and it goes on and on. And then, oh, what I did do is for those in the area where I have not finished, like my H's, I've printed off the blocks that I needed and the I. So I should be in pretty good shape to be able to just pick this up whenever I want and do a little work. I have, remember we started to cut out our fabrics for our triangles around the edge. And they are very pretty, I must admit. So, don't have to. I was tempted earlier today to cut all of them out, but I decided not to so that the fabric around my triangles actually tells a little bit of the history. So some of that fabric is from back when I started. Let's see how it evolves in the next year, and I'll put in the fabrics that I use in the next year into it, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's do the Australian pines. And then if we have time, we're going to do checkerboard. And see how it says TR2. That means top row, second. I'll show you. So this is the top row of my Dear Jane. Second one is the one we're going to make. And we know the drill. Because we have had 5 weeks of Dear Jane. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I never would have gotten this much done without having FiberCast. Because what do we say? It's amazing what we can accomplish in 60 minutes every week. Times 5, that's 5 whole hours that we have had dedicated sewing time. And do you believe it? April is coming. And in April, we have something really fun happening. We are going to be focused on quilting in a certain country. And next Friday night, I will tell you which country we're going to focus on first. Okay, so see how this has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4? I think I'm going to use that. I love this batik. And this. I'll put the others over here in the event we get to it. Okay, so first off, there's this big piece here. So why don't I make sure? Oh, this week I have scissors. That really slowed me down last week. Now look at this. This has some sort of a stitching on it, but that's okay. I'm going to put my iron on. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm just doing some of these. Same thing over here. Three, four, okay. That might be enough. We might need a few more. Now let's see what this looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, Annie says the triangles are the most fun. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Okay, so if I do 1 inch, that should be plenty big. Yay. Oh, Lacey, that's funny. Your pantry. How do things stay in there? I saw some whipped cream in our refrigerator today from Thanksgiving. And it's one of the few things in this world that I don't eat, whipped cream. Although I probably now could do it if I just had to. And I pulled it out of the fridge today. I was all set to throw it away. But then it said it didn't expire until June of this year. So it's going to stay in there until June, and then I'll throw it away. Okay, so like always, the first one is the most interesting when you're paper piecing, which reminds me, guess who I went to see this week? I had the wonderful pleasure of going to the Cape on Tuesday night with Jean, and we saw Rob Appel, the man quilter. And his quilts were just great. I have a few pictures I'll share with you. Oh, I have to turn my size down. And bless him, so it was the Bayberry Quilters group, which is just wonderful. If anyone out there is with the Bayberry Quilters, you are so fortunate to have such a good group of quilters. Now look at that. I did that wrong because it didn't go over far enough. Ugh. What reminded me of my trip to Bayberry and seeing Rob is that he talked about paper piecing and how difficult it was. I'm sure he can do it, but he was talking about using great big pieces, and I could relate. Anyway, he started his journey out in Silicon Valley, and this is, again, Rob Appel. And he tells his whole story, so I highly recommend if you're a quilt guild out there and you're looking for a program. I have no idea how much it costs, but he was entertaining and inspiring, and I definitely would put him on your list of your wish list. So I'm not going to give away all of what he talked about per se, but let's see how I'm going to try to keep myself more in line here. Did I just screw up again? Shouldn't have said that. His quilts, he really has changed his style over the years, and I like his quilts. And again, he's very like, oh, so I was telling you, but I don't want to tell his whole story because then that wouldn't be good. But he started out in California. His mother apparently ran a quilt shop. I'm not sure which one. Someone out there probably knows. And he got into the FAF sewing machines. And then one thing led to another. Am I going to goof? Look at that. I did it again. It doesn't work. When it folds over, here's what I need. I need it to go up there. So some nights we just start out this way, don't we? Take two. Hi to Jean and Chris and Lima and Kelsey and Kathleen and Colleen and everyone out there from the Marathon Quilters Guild. All right, let's try a longer piece like this. This one has to be good. Don't you think? Well, let's make sure. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now let's put this one on. See if this one works. I think maybe I'll start doing this one too. So the first block is easy. So we know that'll cover up one. And Peggy down under, hello. I was thinking of you the other day. And Wendy. Wendy, we're sending healing thoughts your way. And Sherry. And Maureen, aka Ding. And Sandra and Norma and Marquet. Oh, so we are making a raffle quilt for our next quilt show, which isn't until 2020. So it's next fall. And I am interested, and so I volunteered, and I'm excited to have been asked, frankly. And I want to make one that's stunning. So if anyone has any patterns or ideas out there that they think would make a nice raffle quilt, I am all ears. What I'm thinking of doing is I want to find 3 finalists, 3 quilts that just would be stunning, that you would walk up to and say, wow, I'd buy a chance to that. Then we're going to have the membership. I'm going to send out a little survey and have our members vote on it. And then we have a year and a half to make it. I won't be doing it here on FiberCast other than, well, I guess we could. I mean, if we got a bunch of our quilters that wanted to work on it online, that would work. Excuse me. So, see, that piece will work again. Okay, I'm going to cut yet another piece here. Here's a trick. I'm not going to cut it down. I'll cut it afterwards. saw some more crocus up today. Okay, let's see. That's not quite ready yet. So let's go over to this one. You guys can see. I usually fold all my sewing lines before I start. It helps with the fabric placement. Oh, Carol, how smart is that? Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to show people what you mean. So see on the back here, that line right there is my next sewing line. Well, and I bet I need some sort of a fold. So if I fold that like that, it's pretty close. Then when I go here, when I turn it over, I can see exactly how far down. I think that's what you mean. To be. Once I get up to the top here, I should be able to use much smaller pieces. Question is, no, not that way. And really, this is kind of tricky to do on a Friday night. It rained here in Massachusetts today, and it was one of those, I found myself thinking midday, it was one of those rainy days. No, I just barely made this one. Okay. Rainy day here in New England when it's not quite cold enough to have a fire, but it's not quite warm enough not to. So it was cold today. I want to show you what I just did. Hopefully I did it the right way. On this particular white piece, I was very, very close to the edge. So what I did was, when I sewed my line, I sewed it a skosh down into the 6 number. Your eye isn't going to know, and I hopefully thereby don't have a hole when I go right there. I don't think I will. I think I'm good. Woohoo! I do make a mess when I'm doing this, huh? Yeah, so next month, we're going to talk about a certain country. I mean, we could imagine the fun we could have exploring quilting in different countries around the world. I have an idea for this next month for which country I want to explore. You know, do some research and share with you pictures and things like that. But certainly, see, now I'm just going to put this down. So this is where, Carol, well, that's what you mean? If I had my 1/4 inch paper piecing seam. I just hope there aren't any new quilters out there watching this. Don't be discouraged by what you see me doing. You can do paper piecing. It's just that I'm cheap and I'm trying to conserve fabric, and it's a 50% chance that this will work. But let's try it. And let's see if I can replicate the error I was talking about on my machine. Remember last week I had trouble with my bobbin tension and I was getting lots of loops. And it's been happening today if I go really fast. It didn't. Does that sound funny, that little clicking? Okay, so there's my line. Now what I do is I pull back on that and I fold that over. I cut that. Then, isn't that pretty? I love that color. Okay, let's leave that for a minute, and I'm going to get my iron ready again. Let's go back to this one. Okay. So I don't want to completely lose all of that. There we go. Hey, Sandra. Okay. And Annie. Okay, we have one more to go on this one, and then I'll iron them and cut them. And then we'll see what's left. Oh, I was using my calculator to figure out how many blocks I had left. But I didn't need it. Okay, so let's see. There's one ironed. There's another one ironed. We might get 2 triangles done if we're lucky tonight. Famous last words, of course. We still have a little bit more to go. Okay, now I'm going to cut these. I have everything. You know what? Because they're so small, I'm hand cutting these. there's one. This piece has to be a color like that, right? Okay. This is where I use my glue, just for now. Hold it down. It is non-toxic. Oh, I guess we could. That's pretty funny. This is a bâton de colle, transparent à l'application, non-toxique, sans acide, lavable. And it wasn't until I saw lavable that I realized, oh, I wasn't reading English. It's washable. It's acid-free and it's non-toxic, and it is a glue stick. Okay. That's kind of cool. They have it multiple languages so they can package it once and sell it in a couple of different countries. Okay, so there's that. And then this one we have to cut. And there that is. Okay. So I'm just going to turn this over. Hi, Becca, if you're out there. There we go. We'll see if that works. Sewing on an angle is a challenge. Hi, Katie, if you're out there. Okay, so there's that. And now we're just going to take this top piece, put that. See how I'm just going to sew along there or sew along there. Whoops. I need to make sure they line up. Go. Okay, so there is that. And now we need 2 pieces of white to go down each side. I guess I can trim these 2 pieces. Now, how big are these pieces? 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so I'm going to go iron this. Okay, they will be long enough. Okay. So first things first, let's square this up. Okay. Now, Sue, I need that long ruler you bought today. Oh, wait, maybe I have one in here. Can you imagine if I do? How lucky are we? Woohoo! Okay, that aside. Sue, I think it's so funny. I did the same thing you did when I went, last time I went to a quilt, well, kind of sort of I did the same thing. Last time I went to a quilt retreat up near the Quilted Crow, and I was doing a lot of these Dear Janes, I realized I needed one of these rulers. And I love it. I don't know why I didn't have it out. Okay, so now we have 2 of these. Let's see these pieces. They're kind of the same, but not quite. And you know what? I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm not going to cut these out. I'm going to just sew this on either side. Okay. And the reason I'm technically not supposed to do this is I potentially can stretch this fabric. I know, not fitting, so that it could be, I could have wavy, you know how I say on wavy borders, make sure to cut your borders, don't just do this. Because what happens is your top piece, well, maybe with the dual feed that's less likely, so let me back up here. Usually your top piece doesn't go through as fast as the piece that's underneath with the feed dogs. So you end up getting a wavy top. But hopefully with my dual feed now on my Bernina, that won't happen. And it's such a little piece that I'm willing to take that chance. So there's one. That is going to be tiny. Can I just tell you? Okay, and this one just barely fits. Oh, if Sewing Kathy is out there, hi. And thank you for your tips. I so appreciate everyone's sending me your emails and showing me what you're working on and making any suggestions. Because like I say, we have a plan for next month where we're doing a country, quilting in a country. And next Friday, you'll find out which country. And then in May, we're going to do KB's Charm Square quilt. Look at that. Oh, let me iron it. And I think that'll take May. I think the pattern might be in 4 pieces. We're testing it now. We want to make sure that it works. Okay, so there's one. Let's pull out the other one. This one might be even easier. So this one is TR3. Ooh, this is kind of cool because we can do another yellow here. So we just did TR2. And what we'll do, we'll look in our book and we'll make a note on TR2. Okay, TR. Whew, these corner ones are going to be really tricky. This one, look look at this. A star. It's a star within a star within, I don't know what. That's a lot of pieces. Oh, if you needed a reminder of how many pieces are in all of Dear Jane, 5,602. And she made it in wartime, 1863. Okay. So top row, second from the left, this is what hers looked like. Did I do it wrong? I did it wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. Huh. And that's what ours looks like. Okay, let's write in here. Oh, and we want to glue a piece of fabric. Hey, Becca. Hi, Becca. Hi, Gail. Oh, they're in Georgia. They attended the quilt retreat this week in northern Alabama. Oh, I saw the picture on Facebook, and that place you stayed looked wonderful. Okay, so made this 3/29/19, finished on FiberCast. Oh, my writing is atrocious. What should we write here? Okay, so Rob Gronkowski, aka the Gronk, retired on Sunday. Kathy Lee Gifford, and I realize this is kind of regional because Kathy Lee actually doesn't she live in Connecticut and she works in New York. So I'm sorry if this is too regional, but Kathy Lee Gifford, retires next Friday, April 5th, 4/5/19. What other news can we say here? Well, stay tuned. Okay, so we have the date. It's really fun to go back. If you have one of these books, I highly encourage it because you just, I think we read some of it last week. So that's fun. Okay, so there's one. Let's do this one. So it's going to be next to that. And I'm thinking, how about something very stark? Why don't we do that one? And so we can take this away. Look at all these little pieces in this one. Oh my gosh. That one is going to be less than 1/2 inch. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, see how there are a lot of strips here? I'm going to cut our white and blue into multiple strips. Oh, you know what else we need to do is, if we can, while I have my pen here, I am just going to do top row 2, and it is 3/29/19. Anyway, okay, so there's that. Now, let us see what size Again, I use a lot of fabric. But this we should be able to kind of flag piece. We're going to see if we can use up some of our scraps here. And also have some bigger pieces. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, one is there. One is here. Okay. Okay, so see how this is one in the middle? So we do that. We take this one. Go back to this one. One, two. There we go. So we just keep working away on this. Da, da, da. I'm getting in the flow. I just realized I wasn't saying anything. Okay, so here's the fourth one. Oops, we don't want to do that. Up, down. I think this will be enough. I like these really high contrast squares. Especially with these little pieces. It looks so crisp when they're. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is that. There's one piece ready to iron. Okay, there's another piece ready to iron. Look at this. One blue in the middle. Here, I think I can even just do that. Let me do it this way. That. Okay, there's that. I know this isn't very exciting, is it? This is our last week of Dear Jane for a while, I promise. Cut it. There's another piece. Let's go back here to this one. That. Okay. That. One more across the bottom here. doing? I don't even know what time it is. Good night, Sue. I really have no idea. I think maybe it might be time. Let me see. Maybe we can sew everything but this bottom piece together. How's that sound? You all are troopers. Friday night. Okay. So here's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why don't I put all of these aside for now? And we'll still do that in a minute. Let me get my iron ready. What time is it? Uh-oh. It's almost bedtime. Huh. Well, that's a bummer. Let's at least move this over so you can see me when I'm ironing. Okay. We can sew these 4 pieces together. I will feel accomplished. And then we can write in our book that we started it on the 29th of March on our March Madness. Oh, speaking of March Madness, who is enjoying the basketball games? I don't even know if they're on tonight or tomorrow night. I know we were watching Gonzaga and I don't think that goes there. Florida last night. And that was very exciting. They play at a high level. But I didn't do the pool this year. Oh, there we go. Ooh. So because I didn't do the pool, I'm not as interested. Not paying as much attention. There and there. Huh, there must be a top that I'm missing, huh? Oh well. We'll do the top and the bottom after we do these together. Let's just write that all down. So, I hope that, oh, here's the top, duh. Remember all these little pieces? These little teeny tiny pieces? Okay. So why don't we start again? We'll do this top. And then we'll do this to this. Do that. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Let me put this to this. Okay. Look at all these pieces. Kind of leaning a little bit. This will be my leaning tower pizza. Oh, maybe that's a hint for next week. My leaning tower pizza. Oh, it's not pizza? Okay, so that, see how it's leaning a little bit? That's funny. There it's leaning, but we'll stretch it out, and probably tomorrow morning I'll do the rest of it, and then we will put that in the book. Might have a side, but anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you. It's been a great March. We've gotten a lot done. Pat, thank you for sharing your beautiful Dear Jane quilt. Go do something fun this weekend, and I look forward to exploring a country with you in the month of April. So tune in next Friday night, April 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.